Welcome into a Monday edition of the Gold and Blue Lunch Report. I'm Allan Taylor, and today, like every Monday, we dig into film review of West Virginia football. This time, hitting the rewind button on West Virginia's 38-20 win over Texas. Let's cue up some video. We start with Skylar Howard, the little general, and he started poorly. Picked off on the first series, and then a swing pass dropped on the second series. But those were his only incompletions of the day. Over the game's final 50 minutes, he was 9 for 9 for 119 yards, including this deep dagger before halftime to Javon Durant. Then from in close on a crucial third down, he spun a beautiful corner route to Da'Keil Shorts. Hard to defend a ball thrown that well. And what would this year's offense be without the play Hogerson calls QB power? Howard showing the power here. Then he rammed home the fourth quarter clincher, his fourth rushing TD of the season. Now only twice in the past 10 years has West Virginia attempted fewer than 12 pass attempts, but the stock report recognizes the need to look beyond the numbers, so Howard gets an up. Guess which way the arrow points for Wendell Smallwood and the running backs? Go ahead, think about it. Take your time. We'll just cycle through some of this B-roll while you mull your answer. Might point out that Smallwood set a career high with 165 yards, which happened to surpass the career high he set last week. Pretty good two-game homestand for number 4, who's now in close contention for the Big 12 rushing title. Smallwood is showing some workhorse tendencies as well, with 24 carries. Overall, just an exceptional day, with the exception of one big brain cramp. Hey, a lot of guys wanted to celebrate Jared Barber's touchdown, but Smallwood was really caught up in the moment. Got flagged 15 for that one. Still an obvious up arrow, especially when you take into account Russell Shell's 53 yards on 12 carries. Speaking of Shell, the offensive line seems to be giving him more opportunities the past 2 weeks. West Virginia ran for 257 yards on 51 attempts Saturday, basically giving Texas the same treatment it gave Texas Tech the previous week. Let's hear about that from Tyler Orlowski.
I mean, going back from last week, Texas Tech wasn't very good stopping the run. They gave up 300 yards against us. This week, Texas was good at stopping the run. They gave up 250 yards, so that's pretty promising to me as offensive lineman, seeing that, okay, well, we can run against good teams too.
Right tackle Marcel Lazard had a false start and a holding penalty in the first 8 minutes, and later yielded a sack, but otherwise the freshman's growing pains were minimal. Texas came in allowing 4.1 yards per carry, and West Virginia averaged an even 5. So up you go, offensive line. The receivers were pretty much reduced to decoys most of the day, and Da'Keil Shorts probably wished he was a decoy after failing to run his route to the sticks on this third down.
I really got on him on that first third down. You know, it's 3rd and 3, and he cut it off too quick and caught it. He made a hard catch for 2 yards. Well, run the route, you know, the right way, and it's not going to be as hard of a catch, and you're going to get the first down.
But Shorts, he usually does the little things correctly, like pointing out when he's matched up against a safety on the goal line. And that safety, Jason Hall, he was helpless to defend against this throw and diving catch. Good hands by Shorts, and for the first time in a month, we can say the same thing for Javon Durant. Plagued by drops on deep balls just like this one, the freshman hung on this time for his first touchdown since October 3rd. Karan White, who actually made his first start in place of Durant on Saturday, caught 3 balls for 25 yards. Now Shelton Gibson, no catches for the second straight week, wasn't even targeted against Texas. With the emphasis so heavily weighted toward the run game, the wide receivers, they're going to be stuck in neutral this week. Priority number 1 for Tony Gibson's defense was clogging the run, but no such luck. The Longhorns ran for 277 yards, about 70 more than their average. And Deontay Foreman showed what a force he'll be for the next 4 years. Too many missed tackles, too many gaps left open against a Texas offensive line that featured 2 true freshmen. The D-line trends down, though there was a silver lining, because once Texas was forced to play catch-up, Noble Wachukwu got unleashed. The junior from Wiley, Texas, made 3 sacks in the fourth quarter. Tony Gibson said West Virginia knew what was coming, but still couldn't stop Texas' run game. Quote, "They were pounding us. If we don't have the turnovers, I don't know what the final score is." But alas, they did have the turnovers. And the turnovers, they came in bunches. Nick Kwiatkowski defrocked Tyrone Swoops, showing how you park an 18-wheeler. And Quit didn't quit there. He also victimized UT's other quarterback, Gerard Hurd, with an interception in the fourth quarter. I mean, is it too late to make this guy a tight end? When there was a loose ball Kwiatkowski didn't get, his roommate, Jared Barber, did. The fumble return here became the Mountaineers' first defensive touchdown of the season. So despite getting pushed around most of the day, the linebackers salvaged a neutral with all those takeaways. At times, West Virginia allowed Hurd to look like the second coming of Vince Young. It can be easy pickings, I suppose, when the guys are running this wide open. But when the coverage eventually tightened up, Darryl Worley was typically in the area. Junior has picked up his performance over the past 3 weeks, and he picked up a little something on this play. Worley said he was tipped off before the play when receiver Amonte Foreman, quote, got a little excited and started grabbing his gloves when the quarterback checked down. It wound up as Worley's fourth interception of the season. Worley also worked the scrum to recover a fumble, one of 5 Texas turnovers. So to recap, it's horns down, secondary up. West Virginia's coverage units, they even joined in the turnover parade. Nana Chiron stripped Chris Boyd, setting up a Mountaineers field goal. And for the thump of the day, here comes Sean Walters. I say, That is why I never asked to return kickoffs. And one more kudo to the coverage team, this time to Rasul Douglas for following the bouncing ball and downing it inside the 1. Special teams gets an up. Shifting over to basketball, and the Mountaineers shifting down to Charleston tonight for a matchup against James Madison, a much tougher opponent than the Mountaineers incurred on Friday night when they destroyed Northern Kentucky. James Madison, led by All-Colonial guard Ron Curry, should be a good matchup in the Charleston Civic Center. We're about to head down I-79 to Charleston, and we hope you have a good Monday. Thanks again for joining us on the Gold and Blue Lunch Report.